Hello, everybody, and I'm Jake Thompson. Thank you for joining me this week on another edition of the Weekly Fumble. Well, I'll be bringing you the top two games, only two this week, in Week 1. Let's get it started. Number 11, Michigan, and number 17, Florida. This game is going to be played in Texas, Arlington Stadium in Dallas, and it should be a good one. I think that both of these teams are evenly matched, but the problem is Florida has 10 guys suspended for this game. It's going to be tough for them to have the depth, have the team to play with Michigan because Michigan's strong. They are a big and physical team. I believe that they come in here, they're ready to play, and I think Michigan wins the football game. But let me add, Florida has won 27 straight opening games. It will end today. I like the Wolverines to beat the Gators. The second game, the biggest game that everybody's been waiting for all year long since it was posted on the schedule way back when. Number 3, Florida State visits number 1, Alabama. They don't visit Alabama. They play them in the Mercedes Benz Dome in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, let me just say this. Florida State and Alabama. Nothing like the biggest stage in college football, Week 1. Nothing like two great quarterbacks, DeAndre Francois and Jalen Hurts. What a great game. People down in the South, people all over the country are ready for this game. I know I'm ready, and I just want to see a good game. I think that Alabama is a very strong team. They are a very hard-nosed, hit-you-in-the-mouth type team, but so is Florida State. Florida State can bring it to you any which way they possibly can. And I think that Florida State goes in and plays in the new Georgia Dome, we're going to call it the Mercedes Dome, and they play Alabama well. They do everything that they need to do to beat Alabama, but knowing in the past, I'm just going off of past experiences because we don't know how good these two teams are going to play. But we do have a, I guess you could say, concept on what they're going to do. And if you look at their practices, if you look at their off-season stretches, if you look at last season, these two teams are strong. But I think the key factor in this game is going to be at the quarterback position. And I think that if you put in Jalen Hurts and you put in DeAndre Francois, it's going to be a hard-nosed, hit-you-in-the-mouth type football. It's going to be a high-scoring game, I believe. I don't know, because how could you stop? These two defenses are great, but how could you stop these two great quarterbacks? Heisman hopefuls, great teams. I think that Alabama comes in here and they win the football game, only because they're Alabama. Now, let me tell you why. They have a great team. Great all across the board. Everything looks nice. And Nick Saban is not going to let his guys come unprepared into this game against one of the best teams in the nation, Florida State, and just fall over and lose. So I think Alabama wins. I'm going to give it 21-17. I think Alabama wins, and I think that they continue to go on that road to success towards the national championship, and I got them in my Final Four. But that's for a different time. Thank you for joining me this week on another edition of the Weekly Fumble. I'll be back next week with 4 games. So 2 is just only Week 1. 4 games next week in Week 2. Thank you for joining me. I'm Jake Thompson. Salute.